Racing games are so back. Forza Horizon 6 is going absolutely ballistic on the Steam charts right now, and that's not even counting Xbox and PC player counts, who absolutely make up the primary player base. We could be pushing nearly 1 million concurrent players for all we know. Actually, this just in from their official Twitter, we have over 6 million players in Forza Horizon 6, and if that ain't spreading fast enough to be considered epidemic worthy, then I don't know what is. About time we pulled the best kind of epidemic slop, the Hopium Kind. Also, I know, Unk is late to the party on this one. I got a bit too addicted to the Slop Grind that I legit forgot to buy early access on the 14th. If you haven't been keeping up with my Epidemic Slop, then make sure to check it out on my channel after this video. Let's take a brief break from all this doom posting for your monthly scheduled episode of Bladed Angel HOPECORE. Chapter 1, we're finally here. We have been asking for Japan since the conception of the Horizon series, and even though it arrived a bit late, it absolutely isn't too little too late. From the engine bay to the looming mountains, from the exhaust note to the crazy modifications, the developers left no stone unturned for this game. It was not a shameless cash grab to save a sinking ship. This was a proper hoorah, an earnest love letter to fans who were waiting dearly for Japan. I'm genuinely so happy we're not having another "oh my gosh, the engine sounds are ass" like the Forza Horizon 4, or "oh my gosh, the car models are ass" because they're just reused models from earlier Forza titles like in Forza Horizon 5. By the way, I'm not even mad that people hated those things in the previous games, because those are very valid things to get mad at for racing games, especially from a franchise that wasn't known for having those issues. Like Horizon 3 and prior, people loved the car sounds, people loved the car models. How were they suddenly going backwards? Whatever. From the moment I saw the menu screen, I knew this was gonna slap, and even though this game just released, I already dread the nostalgia this menu's going to bring when Horizon 7 comes out. Like, genuinely, I don't know how you top Japan. The best thing is to like match it by, best case scenario, probably using Germany. With all these BMW G80 and Porsche GT3 RS glazers that young Gen Z is birthing every single day, I swear to God, they're being made in a factory, right? Germany probably is the only thing that can like make sense for the next Horizon 7. But who cares about future speculation when we still have plenty of time to enjoy the now, and the now is absolutely amazing. Forza Horizon 6 is easily a top Forza game. It's definitely matching Forza Horizon 2 and the original. There, I said it. Like, I'm no future Googling man who can predict whether or not this game is alive 1 year later, since it feels like every game nowadays unfortunately just dies much faster than it used to, but this absolutely is going to coast comfortably until GTA 6 later this year. And heck, I still think it's going to be playable because it's scratching an entirely different vibe and itch by choosing Japan over, obviously, Florida. So the setting alone is going to keep Forza Horizon 6 shelf life really high, because no game has implemented Japan as fully and as beautifully as Horizon 6 has, and the city alone is insanely detailed, and it's just such a wonder to drive through. There are so many secrets to discover, so much detail to appreciate, and man, sometimes I just sit there and stare at the scenery. Like, sometimes I don't even drive, I just sit, park, chill, look over at the city, look at the ocean. It's a great looking game. Years from now, I can see this being a Forza Horizon game that people will still recommend to newcomers whenever they enter this franchise, much like how current Forza veterans, right now, they encourage us to go back and try Horizon 1 and 2, with 3, 4, and 5 being more optional. I could see 6 being the one that they encourage in the future, because it's gonna stand the test of time, especially since it is very single-player friendly. It has a lot of single-player RPG vibes to it. Every time you enter a new region, it tells you on screen in a very Elden Ring sort of way, and all this various UI sound effects that go with not just that, but a lot of things in general in this game, even smashing the collectibles, like even the homes, right, that are available in this game. It's just like comfort. It has a very comfy, I'm sorry that I'm using the word vibe so much. I promise I'm never gonna use this word nearly as much in my career ever again. Kind of like in games like Stardew Valley or Minecraft, where this atmosphere makes you just want to sink countless hours into. It's like comfort food. That's what I was thinking. Okay, it's like comfort food. I'm proud to see the traffic density and the traffic variety throughout the map. For example, in Tokyo, it's actually pretty decent, and there are a decent amount of pedestrians, motorcycles, scooters, and bicycle lanes that are spread all throughout the map, which makes this game feel actually lived in. Same thing with the bullet train schedule and watching it, you know, randomly come in around and zoom around the countryside. And it's very rare in this day and age to get something that feels this completed of an experience as is without multiplayer, and especially without 10 bajillion DLC. It's been so long since a AAA developer has made a base game that is actually fully completed, just the way it is. You know, things have been cooked lately when meeting expectations is glazeworthy, because I'm just gonna be honest, this game does meet expectations. It meets the hype. It didn't exceed it though. Now, it's still great that it met it. Like, I'm not gonna be a bummer and like a buzzkill and say, oh my gosh, it's so disappointing, because that would just be a lie. It actually met the hype. But modern gaming is so bad where meeting the expectations is the best excitement we can hope for, because holy crap, so many of them drop the ball. I mean, just look at the Stop Killing Games movement, right? That's trying to pass through legislation, because we're tired of these games being sold as incomplete products, trying to use the crutch of multiplayer or a ton of DLC and patches to fix it, only to just shut down a few years later when they weren't profitable, and then we don't have access to them anymore because it was just a service. We didn't actually buy the game. You don't own anything. Ah shit, here I go dooming and glooming again. Sorry, force a habit. The best way I can describe Forza Horizon 6, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible, it's like the 2010 era of gaming, where sure, DLCs existed and yeah, they were planned, but the base game definitely still had hundreds of hours of gameplay to sink your teeth into, and still had a labor of love properly put into it. It's why you can buy Black Ops 1 back in the day. Play it right out of the box. DLC's nice, the game still plays nice out of the box if you don't want the DLC. Same with Skyrim, right? There are a lot of games, we're not going to list them all, but you get the point. That era of gaming where you can just unbox a game, boot it up, play it right out the gate. Sure, DLC's nice, but man, is the base game a fully finished, well thought out product. Moving on to chapter 2, I want to talk about the gameplay feel and the festival experience. Hands down, the festival's a lot better. I will say, I'm not a huge fan of the festival host, Helena, but maybe that's the point. I still think Kira sweeps from Forza Horizon 3, and I still really like Forza Horizon 1 and 2's host. In the case of Helena, I actually don't want to see her. I'm so glad we barely hear from her, because I think the way the game is designed is we're meant to roll around with May and Jordan and Yuji and a lot of like that group instead. And that's really refreshing. Most people, including myself, we got very fatigued of being the celebrity festival CEO showrunner all-star slop that we've been getting for 3 Horizons in a row now. It was kind of still cool in Forza Horizon 3, but oh my goodness, it's just... Speaking of story mode, I love that this game has 2 main campaigns. You have the usual wristband system that's actually meant to unlock cars and get through like progression, right? But you also have a separate story mode that lets you explore around Japan at your own pace, whether it's through street racing, day tripping, and so on. The story mode will either provide you a car or let you drive whatever car you want, especially during street races, regardless of your current wristband level. Meanwhile, for the actual festival campaign, they will heavily restrict your vehicle that you can bring into these events, primarily by class, so each wristband will unlock higher classes, and they will also limit what type of car you can use in each event. So like if it's a truck event, it wants trucks only. If it's a rally event, it wants a rally cars only, hot hatch event, so on and so forth. So you're going to have to actually buy and collect a decent amount of cars to progress through multiple events, so you're not just blitzing through early game, because like you can either buy a new car for each event, but what I ended up doing and what most people probably end up doing is they kind of create like a favorite set of cars. It's cool, it's satisfying, and it really puts an emphasis on modification instead of just constantly just, ooh, shiny new toy, here, spin 10 bajillion wheel spins. Like, yes, wheel spins are still here, but it's super cool and refreshing to see that the same D-Class K car that I bought in the first few events is still being used late game because I just heavily modified it for the A-Class events, and I like that. This really brings back the earlier Need for Speed nostalgia, where screwing around in a modified Econo box was actually a viable strategy most of the game. I do wish there were less SUV events, since I'd rather use a truck or rally car, so I wish rally events and cross-country events weren't as restrictive, and that kind of goes for some of the other events in the game. This is the world's smallest violin type shit, because generally, you know that the game is very, very good when I'm complaining about SUVs. Like, I have nothing else to actually complain about. Like, generally, if someone's rolling their eyes right now, you're allowed to, because I know, in the grand scheme of things, it is such a nothing burger. And I'm gonna save my SUV rant for next week instead, in the stupid SUV buyer epidemic, which if you're brand new here and you enjoy watching this video so far, make sure to drop a like and more importantly, subscribe for more weekly Epidemic Slop. You're gonna love my other videos, especially if you love rants or need to be reminded about how much better financially you're doing compared to the average TikToker. Anyways, back to this video. Now regarding the actual gameplay feel, it's pretty standard from other Horizon games, so you're gonna be familiar if you've played another Horizon game. It's a formula that works and we're all familiar with it, so they didn't need to fix something that wasn't broken. They did, however, do a somewhat revolutionary change to the tire physics and how they contact various surfaces. I'm going to just show on screen what I'm trying to describe because they described it better than me, but regardless, this is very noticeable apparently for people who play on controllers or especially sim rig users. But being a masochistic keyboard warrior who likes to watch my car twitch around during turns, I don't really notice this new tire physics benefit that much. Now moving on to difficulty, the difficulty rewards and scaling does actually have me a bit disappointed. Again, this is a huge nothing burger in the grand scheme of things. You'll see what I mean when I talk about it. I'm just upset about though because I do like getting extra credits because usually by turning off racing guidance lines and turning off rewind especially, usually gives a huge credit boost in previous Horizon titles. And I absolutely love this credit boost and risking it for the biscuit, even if it means I have to restart a 4-minute race when I could have just rewinded 15 seconds. I don't care. Maybe I love bolting my car through corners as I late apex and slam into a wall, and now I feel very cheated that by doing so, I'm not even getting paid significantly more, or rather anything at all. So yes, I've finally turned rewind on. It is actually the first Horizon game I've actually used rewind. I've actually never cared to use it in the previous titles. I don't know, I think it makes you like a good racer. Maybe that's like a weird coat, but as someone who unfortunately doesn't have as much time to play games nowadays, I actually do need to use rewind because I'm like, I'm not redoing this whole race. That's how I know I've gotten old. That's the real sign of me being 27, where I'm like, damn, that passed me would have restarted the race like a real man, like Midnight Club 3. Anyways, despite no credit benefits though, I actually still keep guidance lines off, since as vain as it sounds, I hate the way the game looks with it. Like not just for recording footage, but like in general, I feel like you can really see the scenery more, the road more, even though it's just a small line on the screen, it creates like a focus effect, right? Like your eyes don't look at the surrounding scenery and instead look at the freaking line on the ground because that's their job. And I personally don't need them to do their job. I love feeling out corners, and even if I woefully mess up, I find the game more enjoyable when you explore your car's grip limits, because I now have rewind too, so I can just retry the corner and keep experimenting with how much I need to thrust into the corner and penetrate the rears of my opponents. And I bet hearing Bladed talk about vehicular back shots wasn't on your 2026 bingo card, huh? But here we are. Now, another thing you can do that's kind of like newer to the recent Horizon games is, of course, you can just call Anna, let her do auto drive. You can turn on all your assists as well. You will be getting a huge credit punish by using those assists. And like, why play the game at that point? This has to be for gaming journalists, right? Who get lost after like 3 turns, right? Like, I get auto drive can be convenient if you're at endgame and you just want to AFK your vehicle to the next event because you've already farmed a lot of events, so you don't need to constantly drive Tokyo anymore. Or if you just want to take a piss and wait your way to the next event. Like, that's what I use auto drive for. I highly recommend not using it though for the first 5 or so hours. There's something so magical about just getting lost and trying to outsmart the GPS. Like seriously, I do this shit real life. Genuinely, why are GPS systems sometimes giving us the dumbest side quests? Like forget staying on the road. Just go take a shortcut, hike through those trails, and go soaring over the forest in a supercar. Go ram into those unbreakable fences that absolutely did look breakable as you lose all your momentum, and go sink into rice fields as you stubbornly try to use your slammed NSX to wade through water instead of swapping to literally anything else. I think trying to rush your way through this game, or any game really, and optimize the hell out of it makes it boring. Just enjoy this map, don't ruin the fun. I don't mind manually screwing around since my time never feels wasted with this game. This game actually respects my time. So I actually want to dig into every nook and cranny that this map has to offer, collectibles or otherwise. My motorcyclist ass will literally see a Ninja clone or a Honda Metropolitan lookalike and post up for a photo shoot next to it, because what can I say? When it comes to finding happiness in life, I'm a simple man. Also, Playground Studios, please add a Super Cub next. It's literally the most produced vehicle in the world. I swear to God, I'll find out where you live if you don't. Anyways, do note that using auto drive won't give you any skill points for any actions being done during the duration of using auto drive. And since every car has their own individual talent tree that is leveled through gaining skill points, that's also why I don't recommend using it for like the first 5 hours during early game. Anyways, let's move on to the next chapter and talk about the most important part of any racing game, the cars and customization. Bro, we even got Facebook Marketplace in Forza Horizon now. Let's go, baby. Time to lowball some clapped out delusional boomers. If I can't put an anime girl on the side of a car, I don't want it. Actually, an anime guy is also acceptable. We're finally in Japan. Just let me have this. Atasha is finally societally relevant in this Forza. And for Christ's sake, the radios play J-pop and J-rock. I don't want to hear a single soul saying us weebs don't have a place in these games anymore like they did to us in the previous Horizon titles, because we're literally in Japan now. It's finally our time to shine. Even Richard Hammond drives a Atasha Porsche now. We've peaked as a community. We will not be denied entry any longer. Anyways, the customization is wilder than ever, with many returning body kits and several new ones. I also love that we can sort vehicles in the auto show based on whether or not they have a kit available, since if you're anyone like me, you like your cars extra wide. There are more than 550 cars and 70 manufacturers, a very healthy roster for a game like this, and definitely there are more to come too. Now, it is a bit sad to see some of my personal favorites missing, like Reddit has a whole list showing all of the missing cars from previous Forza games that aren't included in 6 at launch at the time of posting this video. But it's pretty obvious that some of them are missing because there are entire companies like Bugatti that are just straight up gone. And I'll link into the description to that Reddit post if you want to actually read it in depth. Now, there are also a lot of niche cars missing that I like a lot, like the Hennessy Venom GT and even the C2 Corvette, and this made my heart sink a bit, right? Like Playground Studios, generally give us some of these cars back. This game is so peak being in Japan and all, and it would be such a shame not to enjoy a lot of these cars and arguably the best Horizon map ever. Like, Bugatti needs to be here, bro. I'm a Koenigsegg fanboy still to this day, but it is not the same when you don't have Bugatti in the game, but you still have Koenigsegg. Like, they're rivals, but they're also brothers, if that makes sense. Like, it just feels like they're missing one whole half of the other. Regardless, if they do add those cars, I hope they do so for free by using like in-game playlists or just in-game events and not through paid DLC. I know some of them will be. I know they'll have car passes and whatever, I get it. They need to get the bag. But I hope like the fan favorites are added to the game for free in future updates, because genuinely, like, man, there's so many missing still. Like 550 you would think would still be an impressive list, because there are a lot of newer cars in this list, obviously, but like sometimes old is gold, right? There are a lot of cars that we feel attached to from previous Horizon games that we don't see here. Now, of course, if you can't find it in the showcase, the game still provides plenty of hidden cars through barn finds, festival playlist rewards, in-game events, as well as like hidden car master unlocks that will give you cars that aren't available, like I said, to be bought in the auto show. You can also buy pre-modified cars that would be available from the auto show, but they come around pre-modded, meaning that you save money on them, and they're just randomly spawned throughout the map. This is like the Facebook Marketplace thing I was memeing earlier. There are like some even used car dealers. It's kind of cool, actually. It's pretty cool to see like that be spread around through the map, and it further adds to like the liveliness of this game that I was mentioning, where it's like cool to see modified cars parked at people's houses through used car dealers or just randomly around the world. And it's randomized for every single one of us, so we are not always going to see the exact same vehicle in the exact same location. So online you're going to see a lot of people post on Twitter, on Instagram, what they're finding for sale around what part of their map, because sometimes it spawns really goofy things. Even in the standard edition, so as long as you've played the previous entries, you will receive their poster car for free. I'm just going to put up on screen what game gives what car. Now, I will mention Forza Horizon 4 in specific has to give you the Aston Martin Vulcan, because the Senna, which is the actual cover car for it, was not available in Horizon 6, unfortunately. And since I'm a dumbass and I have PC only, and I've only ever emulated FH1 and FH2, don't tell Microsoft I did that. And also, my stupid ass unfortunately downloaded Horizon 5 on Steam instead of the Windows Store. I only got FH3 and FH4's reward. Now, Unk might just be stupid because maybe there's a way to link the Steam and Windows Store, but honestly, I don't care. I'm just gonna grind and get the AMG one normally, because any excuse to play this game more makes me happy. One of the saddest things about modern racing games is that they ended way too soon. Like, I feel both Need for Speed Heat and Need for Speed Unbound could have literally doubled their campaign, and I would have enjoyed it far more. But instead, they cuck us right after things just started cooking and leaving us with a half-baked experience instead. I want to indulge in Horizon 6, and I promise I'm going to keep up the weekly Epidemic Slop, and this is not going to annihilate my upload schedule. But genuinely, it's been such a long time where I've had this much fun in a AAA racing game, which is exactly why I'm going to get right back to playing it and end this video. Thanks for watching, and like this video if you're having a ton of fun in Horizon 6, share it to your friends, and subscribe for more weekly Epidemic Slop. Check out my overpriced truck epidemic, and stay tuned for my overpriced SUV epidemic next week. I'll see y'all there, but until then, Bladed Angel out.